Hello everybody and welcome back for another Wednesday update on what's growing on here at the house. I thought this week we'd start upstairs in the studio and take a look at those two peppers that I've been trying to overwinter, and of course dealing with another year of the aphid wars. So far things seem to be coming along well, but I'll let the plants speak for themselves. Here is a look at the sand dollar pepper, which as you can see does still have a lot of aphids on it, but we've got some predatory insects helping out. There's one of our little ladybugs there. See if the camera wants to focus on that guy or gal. Let's not be sexist. But we have been quite lucky in that the ladybugs seem to be mating and hanging around. Let's see if I can find one of the young ladybugs here to show you. Found another little ladybug, but that's not what I'm going for here. Looks like all I'm going to find today is the more adult version of the ladybugs hanging out, but they still eat a few of those sapsuckers every day. I was doing a little bit of research. Apparently, a ladybug can eat something like 5,000 aphids over the course of its lifetime, which, according to assorted reports, is anywhere from a month to 3 years. So I'm going to go with about a year and a half and say that ladybugs eat an average of 10 aphids per day. At least that's what I'm expecting mine to do for me. And since the trimming and these ladybugs arriving, I gotta say this sand dollar pepper is looking a lot better. I am so pleased, and kind of expecting it to actually live for the last couple months till summer now. It's fantastic! And then over here in front of the whiteboard I have moved over the purple freak pepper, which is also doing much better since it's been trimmed. So I'm really excited about that. I don't see any ladybugs or young ladybugs on this one at the moment either. But if you look behind it here on the whiteboard, I have been kind of drawing up something for a greenhouse. Whether or not it'll work, I don't know. Whether or not I can afford it, I don't know, but I haven't given up. So to me, the arrival of the ladybugs up here in the studio and the new growth growing on those two overwintered plants, I'm really excited, and I'm really hoping to actually get some sand dollar peppers this year to show you guys just, you know, what I love about them so much. If you are curious and can't handle the weight, go back in the Pepper Collectors playlist. There, I think there's a tasting a sand dollar pepper in there. Shocks may have joined me for that. Anywho, let's go check out what's growing on in the dungeon and see how the hydroponics and stuff is coming along. I guess down here in the basement we'll start with one of my most recent additions here. We've got the obsession with the orange habanero seedlings. Got this one. It's not looking that great, so I kind of just put a cup over it, hoping it would make a difference. Doesn't seem to have done anything positive. All of these garlics are, okay, almost all of these garlics are shooting up and looking pretty good. I've got a few of them tucked away amongst the other plants. Still haven't transplanted any of these tomatoes into something larger, but I did get them up off the ground. So hopefully the cold of the basement floor won't be affecting them. Looking at these LED strips, that's bright when we first look at it. Got my little bear swing going. Apparently it's enough light for the solar panel in that, so that's, I think, a good sign. Saw a recent video where Sir Cracker starts off with a couple little solar things too, so I guess I'm not the only person going that way. Looks like the plants underneath those LED strip lights are doing pretty darn good, with the exception of the pumpkin over there, but we'll look at that in a second. They're all not exactly reaching too much to get to the light. They all seem to be getting good broad leaf growth. I've been keeping them, well, a lot drier than I would normally, but I'm trying to do that to fight the aphid situation, so hopefully it's working. There are a couple that are looking like maybe it's not. So I have been bringing ladybugs down in the hopes that they will, well, help. You can see the oregano is still around, but still struggling, very much struggling. Got a few little seedlings here, not quite sure how well they're going to do. This Kung Pao hybrid has been shooting up for a while, but has yet to actually bust open that seed case, so don't know about that one. Couple of orange habaneros here. They're everywhere. These tomatoes are doing alright underneath the 5000K bulb. Actually, I think these are both 5000K here. And over on the end, my little eggplant seedlings are starting to get their proper leaves, so that's kind of exciting. Hopefully I'll get some actual eggplant fruits this year, or I guess aubergine, something like that in the rest of the world. Let's take a look at the hydroponics, see how that's doing. Really, this hydroponics adventure is another case of, for the most part, things are doing well. We've got those crimson reds growing in the Kratky style. They seem to be doing just fabulous. Still easily the best looking of all the pepper plants that I've got down here. There are a few other nice ones, but these guys are reigning supreme, as it were. Let's take a look at their roots, see how they're doing. That is beautiful. I have to say, I've never had anything that clean and pristine growing in any of my aquaponic gardens. But, you know, in all fairness, that is powered by fish poo. Here we've got the yard fatale that I transferred over. It's also in a kind of Kratky situation there. Water level's getting a little bit lower, but really not much. Some nice looking roots on that one too. Stayed fairly squat, so clearly the 6500K bulbs in these fluorescents are doing their job. It's just, yeah, those darn aphids. We've got one of the big sun habaneros that's coming along nicely. Still a few more months till I get to plant things outside, but at least this year I'll have some nice plants as a starting point. Hopefully a much better chance of getting fruit. These three are some of the sugar rush ones that I've got going. Got one of the crimson red here that looks like it's trying to produce fruit. So I'm going to let it. We'll just see what comes of all that. From this angle you can definitely tell that the crimson red is trying to produce some fruit. All in all, I'm still really impressed with this hydroponic garden that they sent me, and looking forward to having it around for probably quite a few years. It seems to be fairly well constructed. And I am getting some decent results. Like there's another yard fatale down there. Looking quite nice. Still not as pretty as those crimson reds in the Kratky though. This one tomato is going absolutely crazy. I did clip off the other one that was in here because the two of them were falling over all the reapers and blocking the light, so something had to be done. I'm going to need to go dig out a tomato cage, I guess, from all of the snow out there. Still haven't transferred over any of these cucumber plants. The leaves are looking a little questionable. It's got to be a sign of some sort of deficiency I need to look into. But otherwise, we've got little clusters going on in here. I think it's going to do its best to produce with what it's got going. So that'll be interesting. So basically things are progressing, you know, slow and steady. Like I said, I have been moving a few ladybugs down here to try and deal with the incoming aphids. I am hoping that they are helping. And I guess that's where I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you all for sticking around and joining me on this little garden adventure. I gotta say, I'm pretty pleased with how well it's coming along for only a few months of using this little dungeon space as a garden while I wait for winter to bugger off. But yeah, it's only a couple more months to go, and then in theory we can start planting some things outside, hardening them off first, but planting them outside in the long run. So yes, very exciting, finally getting there. As I said before, thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next week.